Hey guys, I'm Kelly Lynch and I'm the owner of Turning Point Wellness, a private therapy practice in Connecticut, and I specialize in treating post-traumatic stress injury in EMS professionals and other public safety providers. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about in the context of post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic stress injury, which I introduced in other videos that CAPE has posted on their Facebook page, is the concept of vicarious trauma. Now, vicarious trauma, when we first start talking about it, it can sound like this big, serious doom and gloom kind of thing. And I really want to reinforce to you, before I even talk about what vicarious trauma actually is, it's only as serious as you allow it to be in your lives. There is so much control and power that people get to have in the context of all things trauma, if you take the time to recognize what it is that you're faced with, what it is that you need to do to recover from trauma, and how to manage that in whatever context it's showing up in your lives. So let's get right to it. So vicarious trauma is part of traumatic stress. As public safety providers, vicarious trauma will show up in the context of your careers, by just simply by virtue of you witnessing trauma happening to somebody else. Now, everybody processes trauma in different ways, and there isn't necessarily one hard and fast right or wrong way to process the things that you see, or to kind of sit with or deal with the things that you see or get exposed to in the process of your careers. But if we think about how vicarious trauma can impact people, it can often show up looking exactly like traumatic stress or post-traumatic stress. A lot of times, as a therapist, what I'll end up hearing from people when they're dealing with vicarious trauma is, well, I don't think I really have a right to feel this way, or I feel like I'm doing something wrong by feeling like I've been traumatized by the things that I've seen. And all I want to do is really reinforce to you and to emphasize here that whatever you feel in the context of anything related to trauma is normal and okay. There isn't a wrong answer for what that ends up looking like for anybody, because everybody will deal with things in different ways and everybody will process information that they're exposed to in different ways. Just the same as all of you watching a video like this will think different things about it, and that's all okay. So again, vicarious trauma is simply being the idea of being traumatized by virtue of seeing somebody else experience trauma or watching something bad happen to somebody else. That's it. The concept of vicarious trauma is no more or less complicated than that. And how we deal with vicarious trauma is really exactly the same as how we deal with post-traumatic stress. By having a good peer support system, by having people who you identify in your lives as these are safe people to talk to, or this is a non-judgmental person to talk to that you can sit with and just kind of unload, and they're going to let it be whatever it is. By practicing really consistent self-care and by taking time off when you feel like you need to, if you feel like things are getting more to the point of being more than what you know how to deal with, or by going and talking to a trained professional. All of these things are okay options, and there's going to be a different right answer for each one of you. There's no such thing as a wrong answer when it comes to how we process and cope with being exposed to trauma. But again, as public safety providers, there is no get out of jail free card on this one. Vicarious trauma is something that happens to every public safety provider in the course of your career. It's just a matter of how often, when, and what the context of that vicarious trauma is going to end up being. So I hope that this all makes sense. If you have any questions or if you'd like more information about this, you can always reach out to me. by email. My email is turningpointwellnessllc@gmail.com, or you can reach out through my website, which is www.turningpointwellnessllc.com. You can also follow me on social media. My Instagram page is unapologetically.authentic. And on Facebook, you can either find me under my personal page, which is just Kelly Lynch, or my business page, which is Turning Point Wellness LLC. As always, I hope you all are well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.